If you've ever felt like your body forgot how to chill out, even when you're trying your hardest to relax, this isn't your fault. Your nervous system might be stuck in survival mode, and I'm about to show you 6 weird reasons why. So here's the thing. You've probably tried everything. The meditation apps, the breathing exercises, maybe even those fancy weighted blankets. And yet, you still feel like there's this constant buzzing under your skin, like your body is waiting for something bad to happen, even when you're safe at home doing absolutely nothing. This is especially important if you're trying to conceive, because chronic stress and that inability to relax can actually mess with your fertility in ways most people don't even realize. Today, we're going into the actual science behind why your body refuses to relax, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Let me paint you a picture. You finally have a free evening, no work emails to answer, no errands to run, nothing. You sit down on the couch, tell yourself it's time to unwind, and then nothing happens. Your shoulders are still tight, your jaw is clenched, your mind is racing through tomorrow's to-do list or replaying that awkward conversation from 3 days ago. You might even feel guilty for not being productive. Sound familiar? This is what I call the relaxation paradox. The harder you try to relax, the more stressed you become about not being able to relax. It's like your body is playing a cruel joke on you. And if you're on a fertility journey, this gets even more frustrating because everyone keeps telling you to just relax, as if that's helpful advice. Spoiler alert, it's not. But here's what most people don't understand. Your inability to relax isn't a character flaw. It's not because you're doing something wrong or because you're broken. There are actual physiological and psychological reasons why your nervous system is stuck in overdrive. And once you understand these reasons, you can actually start to fix the problem instead of just feeling bad about it. Reason number 1, your nervous system is stuck in sympathetic dominance. Okay, let's get into some basic biology without making this boring. Your autonomic nervous system has 2 main branches. There's the sympathetic nervous system, which is your gas pedal. This is your fight or flight response. Then there's the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your brake pedal. This is your rest and digest mode. In a healthy, balanced body, you switch between these 2 states naturally throughout the day. You need sympathetic activation to get things done, to respond to actual threats, to focus on tasks. But you also need parasympathetic activation to recover, to digest your food properly, to sleep, and yes, to make babies. The problem is that modern life has basically destroyed this balance for most people. Your body can't tell the difference between a real threat like a tiger chasing you and a perceived threat like your overflowing inbox or your mother-in-law's comments about when you're going to give her grandchildren. To your nervous system, stress is stress. And when you're constantly exposed to low-level stresses all day, every day, your sympathetic nervous system never really turns off. This is called sympathetic dominance, and it's way more common than you think. When you're stuck in this state, your body is literally incapable of relaxing, even when you want it to. It's like trying to fall asleep while someone is honking a car horn outside your window. Your biology is actively working against your intentions. And here's the fertility connection. When your body is in sympathetic dominance, it diverts resources away from reproduction. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. If your body thinks you're being chased by a predator, it's not going to prioritize making a baby. It's going to prioritize keeping you alive. So your hormones get thrown off, your cycle can become irregular, and your chances of conception decrease. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because your body is responding exactly as it was designed to adjust to the wrong signals. Reason number 2, you have unresolved trauma living in your body. Now, this one might sound heavy, but stay with me. When I say trauma, I'm not just talking about major life events. I'm talking about any experience where you felt overwhelmed and your nervous system couldn't fully process and discharge that stress response. Maybe you had a car accident years ago. Maybe you grew up in a household where you had to be hypervigilant about someone's mood. Maybe you experienced medical trauma, which is incredibly common for people dealing with fertility issues. Every failed cycle, every negative pregnancy test, every invasive procedure can leave an imprint on your nervous system. The problem is that trauma doesn't just live in your memories, it lives in your body. This is something that trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk talks about extensively. Your muscles, your fascia, your nervous system all hold onto these experiences. So even when you're consciously trying to relax, your body might still be bracing for the next bad thing to happen, because that's what it learned to do to protect you. This is why sometimes you might feel anxiety or tension for no apparent reason. Your thinking brain knows you're safe, but your body hasn't gotten the memo yet. And this isn't something you can just think your way out of. You need approaches that actually work with the body, not just the mind. Things like somatic therapy, EMDR, or even gentle movement practices that help your nervous system complete those old stress cycles. Reason number 3, you're breathing wrong. I know that sounds ridiculous, like you've been breathing your entire life without thinking about it. How could you be doing it wrong? But hear me out. Most people in chronic stress mode develop something called dysfunctional breathing patterns. This usually means breathing shallow and fast, up in your chest instead of deep in your belly. Some people even hold their breath without realizing it, especially when they're concentrating or stressed. Here's why this matters. The way you breathe directly influences your nervous system. When you take short, shallow breaths, you're actually signaling to your body that there's danger. Your sympathetic nervous system kicks in, your heart rate increases, stress hormones get released. It's a vicious cycle. On the flip side, when you breathe slowly and deeply, especially with longer exhales, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is why breathing exercises actually work when done correctly. But if you've been breathing dysfunctionally for years, your body has literally forgotten how to breathe in a way that promotes relaxation. And there's another layer to this. Chronic stress and poor breathing patterns can lead to something called respiratory alkalosis, which is when you have too little carbon dioxide in your blood. This might sound like a good thing, but it's not. Low carbon dioxide actually makes it harder for oxygen to get released from your blood into your tissues, including your reproductive organs. So you end up feeling wired and tired at the same time, and your body doesn't have the oxygen it needs to function optimally. The good news is that you can retrain your breathing. It takes practice and consistency, but teaching your body to breathe properly again is one of the fastest ways to shift your nervous system state. We're talking about real, deep belly breaths, where your stomach expands on the inhale and contracts on the exhale, not those forced deep breaths that actually make you feel more anxious. Reason number 4, your blood sugar is a roller coaster. This is one that catches people off guard because they don't connect their diet to their inability to relax. But blood sugar crashes are one of the most common triggers for anxiety and that wired but tired feeling. Here's what happens. You skip breakfast or you have something high in sugar and low in protein, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin to bring it back down. But sometimes it overcorrects and your blood sugar drops too low. When this happens, your body perceives it as an emergency. It releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to bring your blood sugar back up. To your body, low blood sugar feels exactly like danger. So even though you're just sitting at your desk or lying on your couch, your nervous system is freaking out. Your heart might race, you might feel shaky or anxious, you definitely can't relax. And you probably start craving sugar or caffeine, which just continues the cycle. This is especially problematic for fertility because unstable blood sugar directly impacts your hormones. Insulin resistance is linked to PCOS, one of the most common causes of infertility. High cortisol from those stress responses can suppress your reproductive hormones. The whole system is interconnected. The solution isn't some extreme diet. It's just eating in a way that keeps your blood sugar stable. That means combining protein, healthy fats, and fibre at every meal, not going more than 3 or 4 hours without eating, avoiding that mid-afternoon candy bar when you crash, and instead having something like nuts and fruit. Simple stuff, but it makes a massive difference in how your nervous system functions throughout the day. Reason number 5. You've lost the ability to feel safe. This one is more psychological, but it has real physical effects. Safety isn't just about being free from danger. It's about your nervous system perceiving that you're safe. And for many people, especially those who've dealt with unpredictability or lack of control in their lives, their nervous system never really feels safe. Think about fertility struggles. Every month is unpredictable. You can do everything right and still get a negative test. You can't control the outcome, no matter how hard you try. This chronic unpredictability trains your nervous system to always be on guard, always waiting for the disappointment, always bracing for bad news. Or maybe you grew up in an environment where things were unpredictable. Maybe you never knew what mood someone would be in when you got home. Maybe your needs weren't consistently met. Your nervous system learned that the world isn't safe, and that pattern continues into adulthood even when your circumstances have changed. When you don't feel safe at a nervous system level, you literally cannot relax. Relaxation requires a sense of safety. Your body needs to believe that it's okay to let your guard down, that nothing bad will happen if you're not hypervigilant. But if your nervous system has learned otherwise, you'll remain in a state of constant low-level activation. Building a sense of safety is about creating predictability and control where you can. It's about establishing routines and rituals that signal to your body that things are okay. It's about surrounding yourself with people who are consistent and trustworthy. It's about working with a therapist who can help you develop what's called felt safety in your body. This isn't quick or easy, but it's absolutely necessary if you want to truly relax. Reason number 6, you're addicted to productivity. Okay, this last one might sting a little, but it's important. Our culture has basically trained us to believe that our worth comes from how much we accomplish. We glorify being busy. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. We feel guilty when we're not being productive. This creates a situation where relaxing actually feels dangerous. If you're not doing something, you're wasting time. If you're not being productive, you're being lazy. If you're just sitting there doing nothing, you're falling behind. These beliefs run deep and they make it almost impossible to truly relax without feeling guilty or anxious about it. For people trying to conceive, this often gets even worse because fertility becomes another task to optimize. You track everything, you research everything, you try to do everything perfectly. Your worth becomes tied to whether you can successfully reproduce, which is not only emotionally devastating, but also creates even more stress in your nervous system. The truth is that rest isn't the opposite of productivity. Rest is what makes productivity possible. Your body needs downtime to repair, to restore, to regulate your hormones, to create optimal conditions for conception. But if you've been conditioned to believe that rest is lazy or selfish, your nervous system will fight you every time you try to relax. This requires a genuine mindset shift. You need to give yourself permission to rest without earning it. You need to understand that your worth isn't dependent on what you accomplish. You need to recognize that doing nothing is actually doing something important. It's maintaining your physical and mental health. It's supporting your fertility. It's being human. Here's the thing that ties all of this together. Your inability to relax isn't a single problem with a single solution. It's a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors that have created the perfect storm in your nervous system. And the reason this matters so much for fertility is that your reproductive system is deeply connected to your stress response. When your body is stuck in survival mode, reproduction gets put on the back burner. Your hormones get disrupted. Your immune system can become overactive. Inflammation increases. Blood flow to your reproductive organs decreases. Your body is literally choosing survival over reproduction, and it will do this every single time. But once you understand these 6 reasons, you can start addressing them. Not all at once, because that would just create more stress, but one by one, with patience and self-compassion. You can start retraining your nervous system to feel safe again. You can create the conditions in your body that support both relaxation and fertility. This isn't about forcing yourself to relax or beating yourself up when you can't. It's about understanding what's actually happening in your body and giving it what it needs to naturally return to balance. So let's recap. Your inability to relax probably comes down to one or more of these 6 reasons. Your nervous system is stuck in sympathetic dominance. You have unresolved trauma stored in your body. Your breathing patterns are dysfunctional. Your blood sugar is unstable. You've lost the ability to feel safe, and you've been conditioned to see rest as laziness. None of these things are your fault, but they are your responsibility to address if you want to feel better and support your fertility. The good news is that your nervous system is adaptable. It can learn new patterns, it can heal, but it takes time and it takes the right approach. Start with one thing. Maybe that's working with your breath. Maybe that's stabilizing your blood sugar. Maybe that's seeking support from a trauma-informed therapist. Whatever feels most accessible to you right now, start there. Small, consistent changes in how you support your nervous system will add up to big shifts in your ability to relax and in your overall health. And remember, this isn't just about fertility. This is about your quality of life. You deserve to feel calm in your own body. You deserve to be able to rest without guilt or anxiety. You deserve to have a nervous system that works with you instead of against you. If this helped you understand what's been going on in your body, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.